evening. My name is Chris Delia. I live at 85 Frank Road. This issue is about more than this particular book. This issue is about parents' rights. The parents should be deciding what their children read, what their children don't read, not the school. This issue is easily taken care of. If there's a book that you want the child to read, no problem. If it's controversial, if it has sexual content in it, if it has violence in it, send a letter home to the parent telling them, listen, they're going to read this book and this is why. Very simple. They can sign off on it and they cannot, or they cannot. You say there's an opt-out option. There's not an opt-out option. For a child to opt out, first they're going to need to tell their parent that they're reading the book, which very few children are going to do. Why? Because once they do, they're going to be told they have to leave the classroom in front of their friends and go to some other room to read the book. Why not have a book that the child can read that's not so controversial, and maybe at the end of the lesson plan they can discuss how both authors address the issue. But there's a bigger issue here. And that issue is what I believe an attempt by some members of this board and the administration to silence and bully parents when they have a concern. That's the bigger issue. 2 weeks ago, I stood in front of this board. I was very open and honest. I explained to you that I was a parent and that I had a concern. In the interest of honesty, I told you that I was running for the Board of Education, but that's not why I was here, and I made that clear. I told you I didn't read the book. I only read the Cliff Notes, and that was true. And those were bad enough. I've since read the book, and in my opinion, it's worse than I thought. I told you I didn't have a child reading the book or sign the book, so why do I care? Because I've run into this problem before with my other children, as have other people in the community. I didn't hide anything. Even when a so-called reporter wanted to speak to me, I didn't attack any of you. I didn't make any allegations. As a matter of fact, when I left off the interview, I told her that I didn't think this was a big problem because we live in a good community with good people and good educators, and I felt that reasonable people could come to a reasonable decision that would satisfy everyone. Unfortunately, that wasn't true for everybody. Instead, for the last 2 weeks, myself and Mrs. Kurtz have been under nothing but attack in the newspapers and in online blogs, with lie after lie that we're trying to ban a book. We're not trying to ban a book. If somebody wants their child to read it, by all means, let their child read it, but let it be their choice. Let the parents know what's going on. All right? I don't hide behind newspapers. I don't hide behind online blogs, phony screen names, and I don't get other people to do my fighting for me. And that's why I haven't responded. But to get phone calls at home that some people in this administration have told the teachers not to vote for me and to make sure I don't get elected at all costs, that's fine. I may lose the election. That's fine, but I won't go away.
I need to ask you to finish your comments, please.
And I will finish my comments. I was open and honest. Jane, you personally decided to attack me. That's fine. But don't sit there and tell me that you're a Republican and I'm a Tea Party member. What Tea Party am I part of? And if I was, what's the big issue? All right? You didn't want to disclose to the newspaper that you and Ray and a few others just started your own little political party just last week to attack people like me. All right? So be open and honest.